And that was good for East Carolina, to be honest. But at the same time, he wasn't happy because it was one of those deals where at that time people would leave at halftime of your game to go watch ACC games on television.
Yeah. You see that play. The ball didn't quite get to the midcourt line, so break for the Wildcats to get possession there.
You know, we were talking, Terry, with Dave today. Very nice, spent a good half hour with him. There's a nice steal by Zam Frederick.
Someone looking to get an easy basket or two whenever they can. Strong move, and it won't fall. And oh, the iron is really unkind, as it wouldn't fall for Devin Downing, lodged against the backboard. But we talked for about a half hour today, and he was speaking of his time spent at Guilford when you were at Davidson, and that you guys would actually scrimmage one another. Guilford's a smaller college, but in those days you could have scrimmages whenever you wanted.
And to be honest, there wasn't that much difference between the teams. I mean, we scrimmaged at one of the so-called small colleges at that time.
Yeah.
Of course, Davidson was only 1,000 men, but we were playing what today would be Division I, and they were playing what today would be Division II, but it was small college and large universities at that time.
See what happens as Stevenson looks to go high-low with Stewart.
South Carolina in a matchup zone defense.
It's been oftentimes said of Dave Odom that maybe his greatest strength was his floor coaching, game management, that kind of thing. Certainly when he left, you became a head coach later at Wake Forest. That was his calling card. A guy named Duncan didn't hurt.
No, he did a great job of recruiting at Wake Forest and put together teams. And the thing he's good at is putting a team together, finding a way to play to the players' strengths. He coaches the players, not the system.
Yeah. Well, how emotional is it for someone like him? I mean, you've been there. His eyes began to fill up a few times when he was talking to us earlier today.
I could see that as well. He loves the game. There's no doubt about it. And he's been great for the college game. The only thing he's ever done wrong, Tim, is my last game. Dave brought his Wake Forest team up and beat my butt right there at University Hall.
No loyalty.
No, Ramon Harris got credit for that one with 9:20 remaining. Kentucky has up their lead to 17-8. This is now a 10-0 run over the last 5:50. We see this a lot, Coach. Teams now in college basketball almost always hit a wall from an offensive standpoint. It's how you minimize those droughts during the course of a 40-minute game.
Yeah, make sure you play great defense if you're having a drought. And it's the opposite normally happens. You start thinking about the shots not going in, so you're not quite as intense on defense.
And Mulgrew guilty of going over the back. The freshman from Florence, South Carolina, his first foul.
South Carolina really struggling offensively lately. Just haven't gotten many shots around the basket. The one shot that Zam Frederick got a few moments ago curled around the rim and wouldn't fall.
I tell you though, you don't want to play a Dave Odom team in the SEC tournament.
No,
that's right.
Ask Billy Donovan.
That may have been the best team to ever win an NIT. They almost beat Florida in 2006 3 times.
Oh, that's incredible. They were the last team to beat them, and Florida went on to win the national championship, but they almost had them in that championship.
49-47 in the championship game. And by the way, the tournament selection committee, they were in overdrive waiting for the outcome of that game.
South Carolina this year, they've had so many close games. Mississippi State and Vanderbilt particularly galling to Dave Odom that the team wasn't able to pull it out when they had late leads.
Yeah, that's maybe, I think, every coach's nightmare is to have that many close games and then those situations occur. Boy, Ramon Harris is really playing well for Kentucky.
Kentucky has blocked several shots in the paint against South Carolina tonight. Even without Patrick Patterson, they're doing a nice job defensively defending that basket. Shot clock at 4.
Yeah, we've already had 2 violations in this game. Finally, with 1 left, the shot is lost by Frederick. Saved beautifully, though, by Holmes. And there's a foul inside. Coach, I want to thank you for taking some time to join us. It means a lot to Dave. I know that
it means a lot to me, and it's great to see you guys. I always admire the way Dave plays and the way he does things, and you're a champion.
Thank you, sir.
Kentucky leads it by 9. Just under 8 minutes remaining here in the opening half. A look at the nation's Power 25 presented by Q from Quaker State. Tennessee and Vanderbilt, the only ranked teams.
I will say in another poll, Mississippi State is at the 25th position. And let me also say this. They are the most undervalued Southeastern Conference team maybe I've seen in 10 years.
They remind me a lot of the 2006 LSU Tigers with Tyrus Thomas being played by Jarvis Bernardo and the role of Big Baby Davis being handled ably by Charles Rhodes, able to score around the basket. They've got Jamont Gordon, a dynamic point guard setting the table. Hansbrough and Stewart on the wings. That's a really good team Rick Stansbury has in Nashville tonight playing against those Commodores.
Yeah, that 2016 had an outside shooter in Daryl Mitchell that could nail them.
Yes, sir.
Barry Stewart and Hansbrough each can do the same for Rick Stansbury's team. And they're 11-3 in the league. They've sewn up the West,
And they're not getting much national attention. And a walk by Ramon Harris.
8 turnovers now for Kentucky. They're not taking care of the ball very well, but the scoreboard looks good for them.
He's probably saying, man, we ought to be up by 20.
Yeah, they're
South
shooting.
Carolina is not shooting.
They're 3 of 17 from the floor.
While Kentucky at 7 of 14, 50% from the field, with those 8 turnovers allowing the Gamecocks to stay within shouting distance.
And Gay forced to take the timeout. That pressure, half-court, man-to-man defense is just doing in this South Carolina offense right now. You know, going into this game, I think they probably felt a little more comfortable with Devin Downey going up against man-to-man than they would zones, which they've been getting a steady diet of coming in.
And a timeout on the floor, and as the teams discuss strategy, you should too. Premium service, expected, don't pay it. Talk to Chuck Charles Schwab.
Tim, to many people in Kentucky, the head coach at UK is bigger than Jesus when the team wins. But when the Cats lose, he's lower than Satan. Coach Gillespie is handling the mania surrounding Kentucky basketball as well as anyone could ask. He's turned the Cats around from a 6-7 start. They're 10-4 in the league, a possible 2 seed in the East. With all the injuries that they've gone through, Coach Gillespie has handled everything marvelously this year.
Day finally powers into the paint and hits a runner. That ends a long drought. They had gone 0 for their last 10. Their last field goal coming 9 minutes ago.
There's a cut by Jasper. Beautiful. Ramon Harris found him.
I'll tell you, I really love Jasper. I think if he had not been hurt, there's no telling how much better Kentucky would have been early this season. And his courage in fighting through that injury and rehabilitating himself is nothing short of amazing.
The injuries that Kentucky has had, Ramel Bradley, Patrick Patterson, Jody Meeks, Derek Jasper, Derek Carter, Joe Crawford, Ramon Harris, all those guys have missed at least one game this year due to an injury.
Meeks hasn't played since he hit 3 vital shots against LSU. As you see the runner by Zam Frederick. That hit pointer is continuing to bother Jody Meeks, and they could really use his offense now with Patterson sideline.
Talked to Jody before the game. He said he's working. He's trying to get himself back. Not sure if he'll be able to make it back before this season's over.
Crawford with a 3, 22-13.
The Cats shooting lights out so far in this ball game tonight.
Downey, count it, and a foul. Bradley picks up the first one.
Devin Downey so quick, getting to the basket around Bradley. Beautiful job by Devin Downey getting to the basket. The league's second leading scorer at over 19 a game. He's second in assists, over 5 a game, and 3 1/4 steals per game. Unbelievable.
No, we were talking to Coach Odom earlier today, and he was a well-thought-out decision on his part to retire as Downey picks up a cheapie reaching in against Bradley. But as he continued to talk to this, Barry, and he started mentioning some of the players, Downey particularly jumped into his head, talking about his future, Devin's future, and you could really see the emotion begin to build up that this is really it, that I'm walking away from this.
Well, and Coach Odom telling us this afternoon that the reason he decided to walk away when he did is that so many people around this program were concerned about his future and kind of taking it out on the kids, not showing up for the game. They didn't want to support Coach Odom.
Crawford nails another one. He's got 9. Kentucky with an 8-point lead.
Coach Odom just didn't want to see